Okay guys, what I've done here so far, I've done what's called a dry run through, and I've placed all the parts in position to make sure there's enough room for all of them to get into position without being pulled across one another, right? Just enough space to leave a little slop on each of them and the pickups, so when I pull them, they're not going to pull loose from the solder or from each other. And later I can address the opening in the sound hole by taking the twist tie and taping it back underneath and twisting these together if I want to. Okay, I may not even do it on this one, but anyway, that's the first thing, right? Now the second thing is to get a piece of wire, right, to do your pull through. Okay, and what I do, I get a thicker gauge of wire that I normally wire up with, and I'll remove the insulation. Okay, you got to do it in pieces. You can't do it all at once because it just won't work, right? So I'll do it in pieces. One piece, two pieces, and 1.5, 2 inch pieces I'll take off at a time. All right, until I finally get those off. And I'll take those wires, I'll split them. Okay. And I'll take those 3 or 4 wires, I'll put a nut on the end of them to help twist them, because twisting them as they are is pretty difficult, it takes a long time. But to put this on there and twist it up as a tool, if I can do this in front of the camera, makes the job go much faster and easier. Okay, show how that works. So I twist those up. Okay, and I'm ended with a pull wire, 2 of them. All right. Now the reason for 2 is that I've got this extra thick wire I can work with, right? It helps a lot when it's thicker. It doesn't break as easy. And you can make one of these that'll last 2 or 3 different projects. Okay. So I'll take that one, I'll twist it up and just push it down to the bottom, so that it's out of the way of the project when I'm using it. Alright, so I've got that on there, I twisted that, and now I'm going to twist the entire thing. Round and around she goes to help make it into one little thin or thick cord or string. Alright, and then I remove it. And I finish it off. Now I'm left with 2 of these, right? So this one I'll just push out of the way and I'll use this one. Alright, now you don't want to make these over and over again. You can use them over and over again. So make them out thicker wire, you can use them more than once, right? Especially if you have 2 ESs to fix like I've got sitting here. Okay? Now, the other trick of doing this is that with this wire, you can go through the tops of the potentiometers, the split caps, right, and twist them around and actually separate these if you'd want to, make it even a closer tightness to pull these things up with. Okay, and what I do at the bottom of these, once I get these through the guitar holes themselves and they're sticking out ready to pull the part through, right, I'll attach the same nut I'm going to use at the end of it. Okay, like that. Well, this is when the pull through is ready to pull it through, and the parts are all inside, right? So when I pull it, I'm pulling up on it, right? And when it gets to where it's exposed, all you take a pair of needle nose or my fingers, loosen this, right? And it'll slide right on top of the potentiometer and screw it right down. Okay? Just makes it a little easier than fumbling around and trying to get a part on there where you're trying to hold that in position, that potentiometer keeps from falling back into the guitar. Okay, so hang in there. Let's get it set up to pull these through as best I can. Okay, as you can see, the 3-way's already been wired up. The wire went through the hole first, right, with this at the bottom. This is the nut that's going to go over the 3-way to hold in place. Then I wired it to the tip of the 3-way and cross-wired it. In other words, twisted it very tightly because I can only pull on the threads of this. Like, I can't get much resistance on this, or otherwise I'll just pull right free. And I have a tool that looks like this, right, to help guide this into position so I can push the bottom down as this wire pulls the top up, okay? And I've got a pair of handy dandy needle nose to clamp it while I unscrew this from the wire and slide it down the wire that's attached right here, and pretty much just screw it into position, okay? Now, I tried this earlier and my hands are completely in the way. You can't see a damn thing except for the finish. Ta-da! Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut away and show you the final result of pulling this one thing through because I've got enough slack to do it with. Now, normally on these other parts, you got to put the whole thing inside the pup hole that you're going to pull them through. Okay, pre-wire them, have the pull wires all hanging out, right? Everything inside, and then gently pull them, you know, one by one to the correct position. You know, the furthest away first, being the jack would be the first thing after this part goes in, right? And go from there. Okay, so hang in there while I pull this first one through and show you as much as I can show you. Okay, so hang in there. Okay, so you see it pulled through very easily, right? And what I'll do is take this nut that's on this string, right? This pull string, I'll loosen it. Now hopefully I'll stay in position while I do this and won't slide down into the guitar again. If it does, just pull it straight through again. See how it slid right on? I think you can see this with the camera as it is. And then just tighten it down. U-turns, and it's done. Okay? And I'm going to repeat that on these other parts too. Of course, everything has got to go inside the guitar. Everything, including the pickups. Okay? Those have got to go inside the guitar because everything is pretty much determined by this ground wire being coming through and being attached to basically everything. Okay? So the one wire that dictates it is that ground wire coming through that hole. Otherwise, if I brought the ground wire up through here, a different hole or a different pup hole, I could have done it at the front, but it makes no difference. But they all go through and they'll all be set up as I wire them up, right? Then push the pull-through wires through and pull them up and get little heads to pop up the same exact way as I did the other one, okay? So hang in there while I get these all set up. Okay, guys. Well, my buddy came over to look at his guitar and look at the little ES 175 I was just finishing up on. That glare is coming from. Anyway, he looked at the video I just did. You're looking at. He said, "Hey, it's kind of a jip. We can't see how you did the pull-throughs on this." I said, "Man, my hand is totally in the way." Okay. He said, "Well, you can't really see how you're pulling it through. It's just a finished job." I said, "Well, yeah, my hands are in the way. They're, God, I can't do anything like that. You can't see anything other than it popping up and me putting the screw on it." So I said, "Well, it's kind of a jip, not to show them how exactly you did it." I thought, well, maybe I can do it another way, okay? Maybe I can demonstrate on this guitar, since it's the same thing, same ES type, right? This one's going through the F hole instead of the pup hole, because the pup hole is blocked, okay? There's no way to get through it other than just the wire itself on both of these. Makes sense, right? Gives it a better tone. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I've done it on this guitar, same as I did on the other ES, okay? So basically everything's wired together, right? And everything's gone inside the guitar, okay? Now what I've done on this one, I didn't shut the split top. I left it open because that's the way he wants his, okay? So I'm going to push it shut because his knobs won't fit properly. So I went through and I wrapped it, and I double wrapped it real tight, okay? Okay, let's say we're putting these all down inside the hole, okay? Now it's inside the hole, alright? And you just gently pull up on it, okay? It's not brain surgery, right? And you'll see, sometimes it'll come straight up and out. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes you have to dick with it, alright? And this one, I'll need to grab a pair of needle nose to help pull it up and through without pulling the wires loose. Okay, now it's up and through. I hope you can see that, so I can zoom that camera. Right? So now it's up and through. Okay, now if I let go, it'll fall right back into the hole. Okay? So what I've got to do is get that nut off there at the end of the cord to pull through. Right? and slide it on top of the part before it falls back inside. And this is why I have all this trouble with this shit. That wire should not have been in that position. Should have been up higher, so this nut went right over it and had me dick with it. Okay, so now I've slid it over, right, very gently. Okay, and all I got to do is get a good start on it, like about like that, and it's done. I think you saw that for a change of me doing. I think you saw that, right? Did you see that? Okay, I hope you did. I'm going to insert this inside the video. Okay, so now what I've done. Okay, now what I've done. All right, let's show this thing one more time. Okay, so this, say the nut's at the end of this string now. Okay, up here. Now I've loosened it, and this wire's out of the way. I pull the part through very gently, and if I have to, I can coax it with my finger. If it's not to where I can reach it with my finger, right, I can always use the needle nose to reach underneath there and coax it to get it to come straight up through the hole, okay? And all I got to do is slide the nut down over this wire, right, it's exposed like that. Pull it back up again, okay, like that, and then spin it just to where it, catches and starts the process. I know you saw that one. Good. Okay, perfect. All right. And you spin it on tight, and of course, then you take off the wire. Now the wiring, we should have on there. Okay, it's wrapped just like this. One wrap over, like that. You can see that. Split. Okay. It's closer. It's not really hard either. Okay, now over again. Okay, over one more time, right, and through the slit itself, and there you have it. Okay, that's how you use one of these wires to pull this through. And as I said before, I've used this now I don't know how many times. You can use your pull-through wires over and over again. Have the right length on the guitar parts. Okay, for that big ES, they have longer wires, obviously. But that's how it's done over and over again, right? Just start with the furthest part, which would be the jack here, right? And the next one would be this tone, then this tone, right? Then this volume I just did, and that volume, then the three-way. And the three-way would be pretty easy. Just get in there with your finger and just push it on up, little finger, right? Make sure it comes in square. And the main thing is catching the head. The main trick is getting this thing squared up with that hole to pull it straight up through, okay? And by going through the center of this and back around, it naturally pulls up straight, and this little thing goes straight up, right into the, out, in and out of the hole, okay? So that's how it's done, for goodness sakes. I have to edit this 1,000 times, get it fixed right, so not a bunch of repeated junk. But anyway, that's how you do it, and it's not that hard to do. So the main thing is making sure you don't cross the wires and you leave enough gap space to pull these things through, and the rest of it is more common sense. Okay, so next I think on the video is how to the strings we're going to use on it, so hang in there. Okay, so yes, my hands were completely in the way. You couldn't see a damn thing, but as I showed you, you pull that through using those wires, and once you get that top of that thing through, you just undo the wash the nut and slide it down that same pull string. It goes right over the pull wire, because it's all wrapped around just this circumference, and the screw area is a much wider circumference, so it goes right over it onto it, and you just twist it down. It's that simple. Now, pulling these through, you got to make sure you don't entangle the wires on the inside, because there's quite a bunch of wiring that you might end up pulling against. So if you get this done, or you're doing this, and you feel some resistance, go back and look and see what you're pulling against, and see if there's a different way to actually pull that through. Now, looking at this down in it, there's a lot more wires showing than I want to show, okay? But a few of them are pretty tight, and I don't want to pull on them too much, and chance, pulling them loose from the solder spots. So, with that in mind, basically all you got to do is finish this up, is put the knobs back on, screw down the pickups, adjust the bridge and the tailpiece, and we're pretty much going to string it up and see how it plays, okay? Hopefully it won't be a problem this time. Last time I played very well, so should play again, you know, this time just as well, okay? So hang in there while I finish this project up and you get to hear how it sounds like, okay? Hang in there. Hi guys, we're back at it again, and what we're going to do today, or right now in this process, since it's been going on for a couple of days, we're going to put on the strings, okay? And we're going to use these big jazz strings, these big boomers, right? And that's not the right price, there's a discount on that, but anyway, these are excellent for jazz playing, okay? They're chromes, they sound wonderful on a jazz guitar. Now, do they play a sharp, high-pitched rock and roll? No, they don't. They play that mellow, cool sound that a jazz box is meant for, okay? But sure, you can crank up the gain if you wanted to and play rock and roll on this thing as well with these same strings. But, you know, you want to put on what really belongs on there. Now, as you know, I removed the bridge off this arch top, okay? And the trick is finding a place to put it, all right, back in its proper position so it'll intonate properly, okay? Well, that's really simply done. You take the measurement of the nut to the 12th fret, right? And that same measurement from the 12th fret to wherever you end up here, okay, right? And you're there. You just mark it there. And some people put a little, you know, tiny little kink to it, or a little turn to it to help with intonation. It, you know, it's your preference, okay? Anyway, I've got on there the original wooden bridge piece and a roller, okay? So that this thing will, you know, play a lot better than they had with the Tuner-matic, all right? And it's set up just straightforward, so I can adjust it and get the intonation down properly. And as I said, you can adjust this any way you want to, but what I'll do, once I get the strings on, get a little tightness to it, I'll adjust it back where it belongs with the proper measurements to make sure they get that intonation properly done. And I think it's just about here's where it belongs. Right about like there. But anyway, makes no difference. Let's put the strings on. I won't bore you with showing you that. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, I've got it all strung up. I've got it semi-in tune and intonated, and a couple of things I want to make sure I go let you know real quick. If you're going to use these chromes, right? First thing you got to remember is that they're a little different than other guitar strings, in that well, they're obviously thicker, right? You only want to take them 2 turns around the tuning key stand, so that or post, so that you know, you don't overdo the turns on it. So basically, the length between the next tuning key and the string is about as much as you want to put on there, right? Because of the thickness of these strings. Also, the 4th string of this set is woven. Okay, you hardly see that again. They used to be all 4-string woven, but now they're just these particular ones have the 4th string still woven, and it definitely gives to a different tone to that guitar. Okay, and I've had people tell me they've actually gone out and bought woven 4 strings to put on their rock set because, you know, it has a different feel and tone to it, right? So anyway, there we are. We're all set up to play it, and you'll hear it in just a second. Okay guys, here we are with the big 175. It's finally finished. It's back in running order again. Yes, these are brand new strings, and the intonation needs to be adjusted one more time. I moved the bridge by accident, but I want to get some video out there for y'all to see before the weekend hits you. So here we go. By the way, this is both pickups. I'm playing this through my board and my monitors, okay, so give you a better tune to it and a little more distinct sound. And you can tell these strings are much deeper in tone than a set of 10s. These are 12 chromes. And your fingers just slide on them. It's just, they're so nice, right? playing the front bridge or the neck, the fretboard bridge, top bridge. You get a lot more bass into it, right? Now we're playing the bridge. Okay, so we're going to play the both pickups, right? I mean, that's so beautiful a tone from this guitar. And yes, it needs to be intonated. There's no question about that. Well, she's back in running order again, ready to play whatever you want to play on the thing. And as I said, you can take this guitar with the strings that are on it, play all the jazz work you want to do on it, and also just ground up that gain, and you're playing rock and roll. Okay, as long as you do not face towards your amp, right? Keep your body between the guitar and your amp as well as the microphone. Just don't get up there by the mic and expect it not to get some feedback, nasty shit from it. Okay, that's it. Any questions about this or anything else? And be sure to enter my contest, guys. We've got like 2,700 people have joined. We only need 1,300 more to finish that contest off and give away that guitar, okay? And before I can get another one in here, as far as, a new demo guitar, I've got to give away that one. So, please, let's get this guitar contest rolling and over with. Let me give that guitar away to some, great lucky winner and go from there, all right? David, Texas, have a good one. Bye.